Halo Mas Suli, Mas Wisnu. Videonya tadi lancar Mas waktu diputar?
Tes.
Aduh, pakai.
Sedikit aja masuk. Oh, sedikit aja masuk. Ini sensitif. Mic-nya ini.
Halo. Mas Wisnu, Mas Suli. Oh jelas.
Dengar dari mana?
Lancar Mas.
Hello, Semi Baitrop.
Ya, halo.
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay.
So can you see the video well?
Yes? No.
No? Patah-patah ya?
Your voice is clear. Your video.
Oh,
Your video.
Share my desktop, sorry.
Yes.
Okay, how about now?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Can see.
Hello everyone, how are you today? We will begin in 5 more minutes to wait for the other participants, and please, for those of you who haven't joined the audio conferences, please do so by clicking on join the integrated voice conference button. Okay, and while we are waiting, perhaps any question from previous session about how this online training will be done from the overview presentation that we gave yesterday, and also about the introduction of urban agriculture. So if you still have any question, you can ask now, or you can also ask them in our WhatsApp or Telegram group. Okay? Okay, so we will begin in 5 minutes.
Sorry, Kak.
Halo Mas Ruli.
Ya, halo, Mas.
Yeah, can we begin our session?
Yes, please start.
Okay. Okay, so we will start. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our second meeting on urban agriculture online training. Okay, so today we will talk about good aquaculture practices and aquaponics, but unfortunately, due to other businesses, Pak Dr. Nurbambang Priyokutomo cannot join us here today. But here we have the Mbak Dewi Yuniarti with no R from she is our research assistant on aquaculture, and perhaps after this she will introduce herself so you can okay. So without further ado, please welcome Mbak Dewi Yuniarti.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello people, good afternoon. First of all, I would like to say thank you to all the viewers that today that all of you can spend the time for me today in this session, and I hope you all can enjoy this session and also can get a new experience and a new knowledge maybe with me. I'm here on behalf of Mr. Nurbambang Priyokutomo. We are so sorry because he can't attend this session today, but don't worry because there is me today. So today we will talk and discuss about good aquaculture practices and aquaponic. With me, Dewi Yuniarti. People usually call me Dewi. I am a research assistant on aquatic laboratory of Simio Biotrop. So I think we can start our session today. Okay, next. So before we talk about good aquaculture practices, I want to introduce about aquaculture because maybe some of you have know about aquaculture and some of you haven't know about aquaculture yet. So now, what does aquaculture exactly mean? The aquaculture is producing fish in a limited and controlled container such as ponds, tanks, aquariums, or cage with human intervention to increase aquatic productivity through cultivation activities. The cultivation activities here means to multiply the population and growth of biomass and improve the quality of aquatic biota products to obtain the profit. So there are some points that you have to know about the aquaculture. The first is producing the fish in limited and controlled containers and with human intervention. And the third one is to increase the aquatic productivity. And the last one is to obtain the profits. So for example, if we in the nature aquatic ecology, the productivity of the fish is just 6 fish per meters cubics. But with the human intervention in the technology such as feed and also pond and also the good quality of the fish, we can increase the productivity of the fish, become 16 fish per meters. And now we have to know the purpose of the aquaculture. The first one, it's exactly to produce the food and also to stock enhancement and fish for recreation. In aquaculture, we not only produce consumption. We not only produce a consumption fish, but we also produce an ornamental fish. And the last one, the purpose of the aquaculture is to produce the industrial material.
Excuse me, Mbak Dewi.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but there is some of you who cannot hear our voice properly. So
So, what should we do?
Ah, ini apa? Dah. Coba tes suaranya.
Hello? Can you hear my voice now?
Yes, hello. Your voice
Hello?
is clear.
Okay. Should I start from the beginning or just continue the next slide?
Yes, please continue slide.
Just continue for the next slide. Okay, thank you. Okay, next. Next, okay. Now we talk about the good aquaculture practices. In good aquaculture practices, we will talk especially for the stage of grow out or for the stage of produce consumption fish. And in good aquaculture practices, we will talk about site location and pond preparation and also fish stocking, feeding management, and the last one is the water quality. And the first is about site location. For site location, it really will impact, especially if we use the land-based pond. But for urban agriculture, we don't need to because we can easily to modify the pond that we want to use. So now for the site location, we focus on the water resources, because for the aquaculture, if we don't have a water to supply, the aquaculture can be operated. So the resources of the water is the important one, and the second one is the source of water. So we have to make sure if the source of the water it's free from contamination such as fertilizers or pesticide or other chemicals like heavy metals maybe, because if there is a contamination, it will be effect to the fish growth, and also it will be effect to our health of the human health who consume the fish. So that's why we have to make sure that the source of the water that we use for aquaculture is free of contamination. And the third one is testing the water quality. So we have to testing the water quality because we have to make sure if the quality of the water is on a standard, so we can use to the aquaculture production. And for the water quality, we will talk later in the next slide. For the first one, what should we do, or what should we gonna prepare if we want to cultivate the fish or if we want to do aquaculture? For the first one, the important one is the pond preparation. So as you can see in your screen, there is some types of the pond, and as I talked before, that for urban agriculture we can easily modify the pond that we want to use, so we can do, or we can cultivate the fish in our house. For the first one, if you see the blue pond, yes, that one, that pond is made from that pond is made from fiber tanks. So it's easy to find, practice, and can be adjusted to the size of the land. So because for the fiber tanks have many size, and the smaller size of the tank is about 125 centimeter, and for the volume it's about 400 liters. So you can use it in your house. And the second one, Yes, and the second one, it's the pond that we use. It's made from tarpaulins, or in Indonesia we call it terpal, and it's also easy to find and cheapest from the fiber tanks, but it's more quickly damaged. So it's better to use the fish it's better to use the fiber tank. And the third one, in the right side, is the pond that land-based. It is the land-based pond, and that built with the concrete. So if you want to choose, or if you want to make that pond, you have to make sure that you have a big land, because it has to be big. And for the pond preparation, there are some steps that we can watch in the video. So in this video, we will see the step of preparing the pond, or the containers that we will use for produce the fish. This is the video. Please watch the video. This is the first step of the video. So we have to make sure that the pond that we use is clean. So we clean the pond. First we clean the pond. In this video, we use the soap to clean the pond. Okay, in this video we clean the pond, and then with the soap, and then make sure if there is no waste from the soap. And after that, after we clean the pond, the second step is we have to sterilize the pond. Here we use the chlorine. The dose of chlorine that we use to sterilize the pond is 30 ppm. So we put the chlorine to the water, and pour the chlorine to the pond. And after that, just wait until 15 minutes. And after 15 minutes, we clean the chlorine. And after that, just dry the pond. Stop, mas. Okay, so from the video before, we can see the two steps of pond preparation. The first one is how to clean the pond, and the second one is sterilization step. And for the sterilization step, there are two kinds of sterilization. The first one is we have to sterilize the pond, and after we sterilization the pond, we can sterilize the water. So let's check the next video. No, no. No, okay. Okay. Yes. This is the video. So it's not only the pond that we have to prepare, we also have to prepare another component. This one, we call it the air stone. In this video, you will see the two types of air stone. The first one is the oval air stone. And the second one is the tube air stone. Stop, Mas. So for the air stone, you can choose whether it's oval or it's a tube. The difference between the oval and the tube is the weight. So the oval one is weight more, so it's stable if we use it in the water. And after that, let's check the next video. No, bukan. Yes. So in this video, you will see after we sterilize the pond and the water, after that we have to wait 2 or 3 days until the chlorine smell loses. So after that, we can pour the fishery salt. The fishery salt we use to prevent the disease for the fish. And the dose of the fishery salt that we use is 3 ppt. So in this video you can see how to pour or how to add the fishery salt. In that red bag contain the fishery salt. Oke, udah. Stop deh kayaknya. Stop, Mbak. Udah, tinggalan tadi kalau ya udah, stop aja. Okay, I don't want to make you guys confused about the video, so I will resume about the pond preparation. First step of the pond preparation is you choose what kind of pond that you want to use, and then the second one is you can clean the pond, and then the third one you can sterilize the pond using the chlorine, and then after that you have to wait until 2 or 3 days until the smell of the chlorine loses, and then after that you can fill the pond with the water, and after that, after you fill the pond with the water, if you want to sterilize the water too, you can add or you can put the chlorine with the same dose, and then after that you have to memasang. And you have to set the air stone. So the chlorine, the smell of the chlorine will lose. And then after the pond and the water have already set, you can add a fishery salt that used for preventing the fish from the disease. That's all for the pond preparation. I think we have to move to another step. So after the pond is prepared, or after the pond is ready, we can move to fish stocking. So for fish stocking, there are some criteria that we have to remind, or we have to remember if we buy some fish. The first one, if you have to choose the fish with the same average size, and the second one, physically good, healthy and lively, have a good growth performance. For the good growth performance, you can see in its body whether it's fat or not. And for the transportation for the fish, the optimum time is in the early morning or late afternoon. And after you buy the fish, or after the transportation the fish, we have to adapt it the fish. Next. And this is another ways to check the quality of the fish. You can ask for a certificate of production at the company or at the supplier that you want to buy, and you can also ask of the free disease certification, and also you can do a stress test. How we do a stress test? The stress test is really simple. So you just put some fish in the bucket contain water, and after that you turn the water, and you can see if the fish hold, there is many fish that against the rotation of the water. So and once more, there is one step in the fish stocking that really important, and we call it acclimatization, or adapted for the fish. Itu aklimatisasi. We can see the video.
Yes, I can see in video.
So this is the plastic bag that contain fish. So if we buy fish and transport the fish to our pond, the optimum time is in the early morning or in the late afternoon, and after the transportation of the fish, we can directly release the fish to the pond, but we have to adapt the fish or acclimatize the fish. For the acclimatize the fish, it's really simple. Just put the plastic bag on the water, on the pond. Video satu lagi.
Ini adalah pemrosesan memasukkan bibit lele ke dalam kolam yang.
So for the acclimatization or adapted the fish, we put the bag on the water and wait 10 minutes until 15 minutes until it's dewy, and after that you can release the fish slowly to the pond. Yeah. Now you have to know what will happen after restocking the fish. So the fish will move actively, and to feed the fish normally at the normal amount, we have to wait until the fish at the normal condition too. So sometimes it will take 3 days, and but in the first day and in the second day, you have to feed the fish too, even it's just a small amount. And for the third point, it's special for catfish. If the fish floating in the pond, like hang up, just wait until 5 days. And if there are a lot of fish dead, it means the quality of the fish is not good. So it's some information after the stocking. And for feeding management, as I talked before, here we talk about how to produce consumption food or on grow out step. So the protein we use it's about 28 until 30%, and for the feed amount we use the percentage from the biomass of the fish, and it's decreased gradually. And you have to remember to buy the feed from the reputable feed supplier, and the fish feed just can be utilized within about 3 months, because if more than 3 months the feed quality will decrease. And here that I talked before, for the water quality, the optimum concentration, as you can see in your screen, for dissolved oxygen it's more than 4 milligram per liters, and for pH is 6.5 till 8.5, and for ammonia it's under 0.15, and for the temperature is 27 and 30 degrees Celsius. And for the water management, you have to change the water weekly. So every 7 days you have to change the water. It's about 30 centimeters, and 24 hours before you change the water, please starve the fish. And after you change the water, you can add the probiotics. It's about 5 milliliters per meters, or you can use the direction of the probiotics that you use. This is for the harvesting. As you can see, if for the harvesting, we have to less the water contained in the pond, and then after that we can divide it. We have to divide it the size. If there is a smaller or bigger size of the fish, we have to divide it them, and then after that we can sell it to the market. So I think that's all for good aquaculture practices, and now we can move to the aquaponics.
Okay, Mbak Dewi, I think before we move on to aquaponics, we have several questions already about aquaculture. Should we answer them first?
Okay, I think we have to answer it first.
Okay, so first question is from SMK 1 Malang. What size for the fish stock
What
for
size?
them to get ready to be released in the pond?
Okay. I will answer the question about the size. So about the size of the fish, for us that just want to start the produce fish. I think for first we can use the big size. It's about 9 centimeters to 12 centimeters for catfish. And for the density, you can use 150 per meters. And but if you sure you can maintain well, you can try to increase the stock density to 300 per meters cubic.
And then the other question from SMK Emmanuel, what size we must make for the garden?
For the garden.
For the pond, I think.
I mean for the pond maybe. For like I said before, for the size,
Beginner.
for the beginner, for the beginner, we have, I think it's good for us to use the big one. It's about 9 centimeters to 12 centimeters for catfish. And for the density of the fish, if you want to cultivate the catfish, you can use 150 fish per meters of, or if you sure you can handle it, you can increase the density to 300 per meters cubic. Sorry, I think there are some of them can't hear my voice.
But I think the voice is already clear enough, right?
Okay. There is
So I think there is another question
Next
from
question.
Zaki Chandra.
Zaki Chandra.
Yeah, he's from Sekolah Alam Insan Mulia Surabaya.
Ini?
And
How to sterilize the pond using chlorine. So the pond, as I said before, for sterilize, it's just for sterilize the pond, it's just use the chlorine. The chlorine have two forms: the liquid one and another one is the powder one. But it's really easy for us to use the liquid one. So just mix the chlorine to the water with the dose of 30 ppm. So it's about 30 milliliters per liters. And what should we add the fish in the morning or in the afternoon? So for stocking the fish, the better or the good or the optimum time for stocking the fish is in the early morning and in the late afternoon. So you can choose. If you want to stock in the early morning, you can in Indonesia you can stock at 6 a.m. or under 6 a.m. and for the afternoon you can stock the fish after 5 p.m. So for the time for the stock, for the time for release or for the stocking the fish, it's it's related to the metabolism, to the fish metabolism. If the temperature is high, the metabolism is fish higher, so it will make the fish stress. So that's why we choose the time in the early morning or in the late of afternoon, because in that time the temperature is rather low.
Next one, how to check the parameters?
How to check the parameters? So for the parameters, you can use for pH, you can use the pH meters, and you can find it in the you can find it easily. You can buy it online too. You can buy it online, but I don't want to share the web. You can search it online, and then because I don't want to promote I don't want others say that I promote some site. And then for the pH meter and ammonia, you can buy it online. It's easy to find. But for the alkalinity or hardness, for first time, you don't really need that one.
Okay. So I missed one question from Mandua Kudus. What
Okay.
is the other material to clean the pond beside chlorine?
Oh, sorry. For chlorine is not for clean the pond, but chlorine is for sterilization the pond. So there is another material too, and we as human also use the material. Betadine apa namanya? Biasanya di betadine berapa? Di betadine ada apa namanya? You can use iodine, but it costs higher than chlorine.
Okay, thank you. And then are the environment can be used for another kind of fish?
Yes, of course. For the pond preparation, it's suitable for another fish.
So what kind of fish is it?
What kind of fish? All of freshwater fish.
So the
But
same-
for stock density and then the size, it will be different between the masing-masing, between of each fish.
So the preparation is the same for all.
The preparation is the same for all the fish, and then for the water quality, it's also the same.
Okay, thank you. So I think one more question is about aquaponics.
Yes.
How to decrease ammonia
Wh- wh-
level? How
wh-
to decrease the ammonia level in the water
for
aquaponics?
aquaponics system. Okay, I think I will answer it after the explanation.
Okay, one more question from Zaki Chandra.
Okay.
As you have explained before, the fishes must be in normal condition if you want to feed the fish. What is the fish normal conditions?
I think you got the wrong idea. To feed the fish. I mean to feed the fish in the normal amount. We have to wait until the fish at the normal condition. So, for example, if today I release the fish, I think just like us, if we dari mana ya? We come from another country, and then for the first day, I think we have a jet lag. Nah, it's the same too for the fish. They have jet lag. There is a stress condition of the fish. So how we can see it's normal or not? We can see with the feed. So if in the second days, the amount of the fish, if we feed the fish, is less or is not as much as the jumlah yang seitunya apa? As the normal amount, it means the fish is still in a normal condition. So if the fish can eat at the normal amount of the feed, the fish eats at a normal condition. So I think just like I said before, there is some time for the fish. The fish need time to back to the normal condition.
Okay, thank you. And how to cure stressed fish and how to prevent the fish getting stressed?
How to cure stressed fish and how to prevent fish getting stressed. So if the stress it's come from the transportation, the one way to cure the stress, it's the acclimatization. So why we have to So why we have to acclimate the fish? Because the temperature, the water temperature in the plastic bag is different with the pond. So if we just release the fish, it will make the fish stress, and maybe it will make the fish die in the next day. So that's why that's the one way to cure the stress of the fish. And to prevent the fish getting stressed, that's why, like I said before, if we want to stop the fish, we have to choose the right time, in the early morning or in the late or in that afternoon.
Okay, then question from Aprilia Rahayu. What is the range of water pH?
What is the range of water pH? So the water pH is the kandungan air di dalam apa ya? Is kasaman apa ya? acidity in the water. The range of water pH is the acidity of the water. So, if the acidity of the water is not optimum, it will influence to the growth of the fish.
And the normal range is
And the normal range is 6.5 to 8.5. And for the pH, if it's in a nature aquatic environment, it will involve to the penyerapan. It will involve to the penyerapan.
absorption.
It will involve to the absorption of the heavy metals.
Okay, thank you. And one more question: how can we know if the fish is on normal condition? What is the indicator?
I want to ask you too, the normal condition, is it for the first when we release the fish or after we cultivate the fish?
Okay, while waiting for the further confirmation from Sang Peter Chin, we'll move on to the next question. What we have to do to treat fish until harvesting? Besides feeding and controlling the water, do we need doing healthy tests for the fish or anything else?
For the healthy test, I think it can answer the question from Sang Peter. So if the question of Sang Peter, it's in the time of maintenance the fish. We can see if the fish sick or if the fish healthy or not. The first one, from the amount of the feed that we give. So, for example, if the feed that we give, if the amount of the feed that we give per day is 1 kilograms, and for the next day we give the same amount, but the fish won't eat. Now it's one of the indicator if the fish is not healthy. And the second one, you can see the fish is if the fish is how to say, open his mouth often to the air, so it means there is some problem with the fish. And the third one is if the fish or if the disease is caused by fungi, you can see directly because the fungi is just like our pimple, but different color.
Okay, I think that's all for the aquaculture. So perhaps we can move on to the next session of aquaponics.
Yes. So I think if there are question about the aquaculture, we can answer it until I finish the aquaponic presentation. No? Okay. First, wait a minute. Okay. For the aquaponics is the combination of aquaculture. Sorry for the question about the aquaculture. I think I can answer after the presentation, the aquaponic presentation. So I have to finish the presentation first, and at the end we can discuss about another things. And first about the aquaponics, maybe some of you have known about aquaponics. And aquaponics is the combination of aquaculture and hydroponics. And aquaponics, it's basically all about growing fish and vegetable together in the symbiotic system. So next, so you can see the slide. Fish excrete ammonia, or fish excrete feces, and from its feces will be converted to nitrate by nitrification bacteria, and to nitrate by nitrification bacteria, and the nitrate that will be utilized by the plant as a food source. So as you can see, for aquaponics, we use a recirculating system, and in the pond there is a fish, and the wastewater from the pond is flow to the plant media using the water pump, and from the plant media the water will be absorbed by the plant for its nutrition, and then after that the water also filtered, and the water that have filtered will be returned to the pond, and that's this is the aquaponics. So for the easy, for not to make you guys confused about the aquaponics, so it's all about using the wastewater or the feces of the fish for the nutrition for the plant. So there are some of people that still not confused, still have wrong opinions about the aquaponics. So there are people that say or that think that with aquaponics the fish don't need the feed, or we don't have, or it's not necessary to feed the fish. But it's really wrong, because the fish is need energy for the feed, and the plant need the nutrition from the excrete or from the feces of the fish. So that's why if we use aquaponics, we still need to feed the fish. And now why we need to promote aquaponics? The first reason is saving land, because if we use aquaponics, it's really easy to adapt it and modify. And the second one, at the same time, we can produce two products, the fish and also the plants or the vegetables. And the third one is save the water. Why I say this aquaponics save the water? Because for aquaponics system, we already utilize the ammonia, so we don't need to change the water, so we minimize the change of the water in the pond. And another reason why we still need to promote aquaponics is because the aquaponic could be applied to grow organic vegetable, greens and herbs, and in large scale, it's a key solution to mitigating food insecurity. And now we can see some model or some system of aquaponic. The first one is an FD system, an upflow system, and the third one is flooding system. Next, this is for the NFT or nutrient film technique. So for the And if the system, we use a pipe. And the distance of each hole of the pipe, it's about 15 centimeters. And the second one is upflow system. Why we call it upflow system? Because the flow of the water come from above the plant, so we call it upflow system. And here we just use a small amount of pipe. We use a bucket for the plant. Next, and the third one is the flooding system. So for the flooding system, the plant is directly up on the pond, on the water pond. No, I think we have to see the video first. No, 7. Oh, it's 5. So this is for the nursery. First step, if we want to make an aquaponic system, we have to prepare for the plant. The media that we use is rock wool, so that we make a hole in the rock wool to put the plant. Here you can see clearly how to make a hole in the rock wool. So you have to you have to fill the rock wool with the water, so it's easy to make a hole in the rock wool. And after that, you can put the seed. And this system for setting the flooding system, we just use the bucket and also the pipe. And the media, we use not only rock wool, but we also use cork wool, or in Indonesia we call it arang. So this is the preparation for the aquaponic system. If you see inside the bucket, there are a filter. The blue one. This is the coral, the media that we use for aquaponic upflow system. In Indonesia, we call it arang or coral. So not only just before we put the plants, we have to set first, and we put some cork wool in the bucket. But if there is no cork wool or arang in your country, you can use another media, such as zeolite maybe, or another stone. because why we use charcoal here? The use of charcoal or arang here is to apa ya? To make the plant stand. And the particle of the charcoal is big, so it won't move or carried by the water, so it won't make the water or the water in the pond dirty. If you see the hole in the pipe, it's for the water. It's the output for the water. And this is for the flooring system. The principle is same, just the system that differs. Here we use a pot for the plant, and the plant directly interaction with the water. Okay, I think that's all for aquaponics. Perhaps you guys have some question, or we want to discuss something.
A lot of question already.
Okay, I think I have to read one more first.
Okay, sorry. Okay, first question from Aprilia Rayu. What kind of plants can we use in aquaponics?
What kind of plants that can we use for aquaponics? All of the vegetables, sayuran daun apa ya? Leaf vegetables can be used for aquaponics, but here I usually plant kangkung and also salad, and also spinach, and also pak choy. Yes, pak choy and cabbage, and also we can also plant tomato and belum lama ini just now I tried to plant watermelon. Melon. I tried to plant melon, and it's not the result is not really good, because there are a lot of
Pests and diseases.
there are a lot of pests and disease. So I think you can plant the vegetable leaf.
Okay, so I think most all plant that can be planted in hydroponic system.
Yeah.
Okay, and then another question from Samabdas Muhammad. What kind of probiotics? I think it's about the aquaculture.
About the probiotics that we use. So there are many kinds of probiotics that we use in the aquaculture. There are the probiotics for the feed. the purpose that we use the probiotics for the feed is for the digestibility of the feed. So, and then the second one is the probiotics for the water. So the purpose that we use that probiotics is for water quality, and what that I explained before, it's about the probiotics in the water. So if you from Indonesia, you can cari apa ya? You can find the probiotics. May I call the name of the probiotics?
Sure.
EM4. For example, EM4. Indonesia it called EM4 for perikanan. And the content of the probiotic that we use for water and for the feed is different. For the water, mostly the content of the probiotic is from apa tuh namanya? Lactobacillus bukan. Lupa lagi tiba-tiba. No. So the probiotics contains the bacteria contains is basically bacillus for the water probiotics, and for the water that we use in the feed, it's mostly contain bacillus with another strain, and also lactobacillus.
Okay, thank you. And I think there are some questions which is basically the same. What fishes can be used in aquaponics and what plants? I think the plants already been answered, right? So what
Okay,
kind of fish?
so what kind of fish that we can use in aquaponics? Basically, all of fish, whether it's freshwater fish or it's ornamental fish, we can use it. But for the ornamental fish, because most of the size of the ornamental fish is small, how many fish that we want to use if we use ornamental fish? So for aquaponic, it's better if we use the freshwater fish like catfish, maybe, or tilapia, or or Cyprinus carpio, or milkfish. Yes, snakehead fish. You can use all the freshwater fish. But I think there's one more. If you use the floating system, you have to choose the right fish, because if the fish that we use in floating system like gurami, maybe the plant will also be eaten by the fish.
Okay, thank you. And then a question from Science School Dwi. What kind of filtration tools that can be used in aquaponics? What kind of filtration tools?
What kind of filtration tools that can be used to aquaponic? So if we want to make the filtration for the water before the water dikasih apa? No. Before the water transport to the plant, I think you can use like zeolite for the filtration, and you can put the zeolite in the bucket, and also you can use the Dacron. You can use Dacron. It's white and look like Dacron. You can use Dacron, but it costs more. So I think it's better for you to use a zeolite.
Okay, thank you. And the other question from the same person. Is there any other processes to utilize the water from the fish pond to plants in aquaponics?
For the, is there any other process to utilize the water? Ini maksudnya,
Please think first.
oke. Aku belum ngerti pertanyaannya. Is there any, sorry,
Is there any other process to utilize the water from fish pond?
I have to digest the,
Selain air, pakai yang lain. Sistem
no.
filtrasi.
Is there any other processes to utilize the water from fish pond to,
Di pump aja kan?
maksudnya, oh, is there any processes to utilize the water from fish pond? Do you mean before we utilize the water from the water to the plants in the aquaponic? What? Sorry, I mean, do you mean is there any process before we utilize the wastewater from the pond to the aquaponic? If that you mean, here, apa sih kalau aku apa sih yang aku lakukan?
Which I did.
Oh, here which I did, we directly utilize the wastewater from the pond to the aquaponic plant. And but if you want to add another step before you utilize the wastewater from the fish, you can filter the water first. So you filter the water first, and then after that you can distribute the water to the aquaponic system. It will decrease the lumpur. It will decrease the mud.
Okay, I hope that answer your questions. And another question from Ms. Rifadesi Herawati. Is it okay if the pond get in touch with the raindrop?
Raindrop.
I mean, raindrop is unbreakable and can contain a lot of acid and emission.
Yes, that's really right. Maybe if you come to Simio Backdrop, you can see there are two kind of aquaponics. The first one is without a roof, and the second one is with the roof. For the raindrop, how to say, sangat berpengaruh.
Really affect.
Oh, really affected for the fish. So the first one that will be affected by the raindrop is the fish, because like you said before, the raindrop contain acid, and it will be, if after the raindrop, usually the pH content in the water drop too, so it will make the fish stress, and then it will make the nutrition from the fish or from the wastewater is terpengaruh apa? It's affected too. And from the emission, as we do here before, there is no a big problem in the plant about the raindrop, but it's a big problem for the fish. It will be a big problem for the fish.
Okay, I think as a follow-up to that question, there is another question. If we use aquaponic system, how do we keep the temperature and the pH level?
Where is this? if we use aquaponic system, how to keep the temperature and the pH. So I want to ask you too, if for this aquaponic, you made the aquaponic and with the apa? With the roof or not. If with the roof, I think there is no problem with the pH. But if the pH problem is come from the water source, so you can add the dolomite to the pond. That's for the pH.
Dolomite is for increasing or
Dolomite is the buffer. It's the pH buffer.
to increase the pH?
Yeah, to increase the pH.
And what if the pH level is too high?
And if the pH level is too high, oh, if the pH water is too high, usually the pH water range, if we use the water for the aquaculture, is the high level is 7.5. So the masalah yang biasa terjadi apa? The problem that usually become a problem in aquaculture about pH is the lower of pH.
Okay. And what about the temperature?
And about the temperature, if I want to ask you too, is it if it's in the pond, we can't control the temperature. If it's in the pond, in the pond that we built in the area terbuka, in the open area, so we can't control the temperature because it's also affected by the raindrop, but we can menangani apa? We can handle it just a little bit. If there is a raindrop, we can use some daun apa ya? Some leaf such as banana leaf to the pond, so it will decrease the little of the risk about the water. About the temperature and the pH.
Okay, thank you. And is it necessary to drain the fish pond?
To
Drain.
drain the fish pond, I think it's depend on the pond. Depend on the pond. So I think you have to write the specific pond. I don't really know about what pond, what kind of pond. Is it a fiber pond or is it a land-based pond?
Perhaps mungkin satu-satu Mbak.
Okay. Oh, fiber. Okay. For the land-based pond, if we want to start the new cyclus, is it really important to dry the pond with the sunlight? Why? Because it's to it's to prevent the disease that may be still contained or still there. So it's really important to dry the pond first. It's also same with the pond that we made from concrete. And for the tanks pond or for the trampoline pond, if you just clean the pond with the soap, I think you just need to wait. You just need to make sure that there is no waste from the shop. But after that, there is another step. It called sterilization, and if in the sterilization you use chlorine, like the video before, you have to dry the pond.
Okay, thank you. And another question from Mandua Kudus.
Mhm.
If you use the upflow system, is the water should always move?
Yes, the water always move, but as maybe you have seen the hole from the pipe, there is a pengaturan apa ya?
Knowledge.
Pengaturan.
Control.
Oh, there is a control whether we have to open all of the hole or whether we have to just open a half of the hole so we can control the movement of the water.
Okay, thank you. And I think this one is a interesting question from Resa Yurika. Can we use manure of livestock? For
Can
example,
we use
manure of livestock, for example, from the cow dung,
manure to
kotoran sapi,
kotoran
for the
sapi?
plant?
Oh, for aquaponics, the principle is it's the same with the manure of the livestock, but for aquaponic, we just use the fish wastewater or the feces of the fish. So we don't use the manure of the livestock. In the aquaculture, usually we also use manure of the livestock, but not for the aquaponics. We usually use for the pakan alami apa ya? For grow the pakan alami. For grow pakan alami. For grow the natural food for the fish in the pond. So we use it too, but not for the aquaponics.
How can we change the fish urine to be a compost?
How we can change fish urine be a compost? Ada. It's rather hard for us to divide it, the urine or the feces of the fish, because the urine and the feces of the fish is lebur apa?
Colloid.
Mixed
It's
together.
mixed in the water, so it's hard for us to separate the urine for the fish, not like the livestock that we can see the urine and we can see the feces directly. So for your information, if we did some research about the feces of the fish, we have to grow the fish in the small aquarium, and we have to wait and we have to memperhatikan apa?
Consider.
Hah?
Attention. Consider.
Keep
Uh,
attention.
we also give attention for the fish, whether the fish is mengeluarkan. When the fish is mengeluarkan,
Expel.
excrete the feces, something like that. So it's really hard to divide the urine of the fish.
Mungkin maksud dia menggunakan oil untuk
Yeah.
No.
From Miss Unita. She mean that may we use urine of livestock, cow, for plant.
Oh, yeah.
buat meningkatkan amonia.
Yes. I don't really know about the livestock, so I think I can answer your question because I don't really know about it, and I just will answer the question about aquaculture. And for the livestock, as I know, there are some, not urine, but just the feces that used from the plant. That's all that I know about the livestock.
But I think after this we will invite Pak Tomo also and Mbak
Yes.
Dewi to WhatsApp group, and you can ask him in the
Okay.
WhatsApp group.
Okay, I think for the another question,
Okay. For another question, is the nutrition only from the faces of the fish,
yes,
or we can add another?
here in Simir Batrap, we just use the nutrition from the feces of the fish, but some of friends that also make aquaponic system, they adjust or they add another nutrition to the plant if they think that the growth of the plant is not good. So, but if you want to use another another nutrition from outside, you have to think about the condition of the fish too.
Okay. Okay, I think there is no. Is there any more question from the participants? And is there any participants here who would like to share their experience on practicing the aquaculture technology? Please raise your hand so that the host can make you the presenter.
Mas. Ini nggak di-mute ya?
SMK Perikanan Puger, would you like to share some aquaculture practices that you have now? Okay, another question from Indika Raditya. Why the quality of the fish decrease after 3 months if we doesn't harvest it?
Why the quality of the fish decrease after 3 months? If this is related to the presentation. Is it related to the presentation that I taught before? I mean, is it for the fish or the feed? Tadi yang pas pakan. Feed or the fish? Why the quality of the fish decrease? And if this is about the fish, what do you mean by harvest?
Panennya telat gitu. Panennya telat.
No, I think no. Maybe Mr. Irdika Raditya, I just want to ask you the quality that you mean feed or fish, and if it's about the fish, what do you mean by after 3 months you doesn't harvest it, and what's the condition? Maybe you can give the detailed condition about doesn't harvest it.
The feednya.
Mana?
The feednya nggak boleh.
Oh, the feed. No, so just like the snack that we like to eat, they have the expired date. So it's the same for the fish feed. I think you got the wrong idea. It's not the feed that not we harvest, but if the feed has the expired that just for 3 months. So after 3 months, the quality of the feed will decrease gradually.
Another question about whether there is a pest that can attack the aquaponic plant and how to handle it.
Siapa selama ini?
This one.
Oh, based on my experience here, because the aquaponic system here in the open area, there are a pests, of course, such as caterpillar, and also apa namanya, yang kutu-kutu and thrips. And here we handle it manually. But if you want to use some nature pesticide, you can use apa namanya yang bisa disemprotin, daun papaya.
Herbal.
Daun papaya. Oh, papaya leaf. You can use papaya leaf. You just blender the papaya leaf and mix it with water, and you can spray to the plant. But I think it's easier to handle it manually by our hand, because we can see the pest.
Okay, thank you. And another question from Bunga Citra Mustika Wardani. If we breed carp, tilapia, and jellyfish, is it easy to die?
Is it easy to die? I think it's not specific for what kind of fish that we cultivate, or what kind of fish that we produce. I think for to know is it easy to die or not is based on our maintenance to the fish. So if you maintain the fish good, or if you maintain the fish, give the feed sesuai apa? According to the amount, and if you handle it well, I think the fish easily die. It's based on your handling.
Okay. What function is for dacron?
Dacron can be used to filter the water.
And how can we know exactly about the biomass when we want to feed the fish?
So that's a good question. I think I forgot to inform how to know the biomass. So for the first time, before we release the fish, we have to know how many exactly that fish that we release in one pond, and we have to sampling by sampling the biomass, the feed, and you can calculate the fish for the first time. And then after that, every 10 days you have to sampling the fish, just 10% of the fish, so you will know the biomass of the fish. And you have to also take notes if there is a fish that died, so you will know the exact amount of the fish in the pond.
Okay. What type of plant? I think it's already answered before, right? And how can we use another media or just arang?
Oh, like I said before, wait, you can use another media. Why here we choose arang before? So what kind of media that we can use for for aquaponic? So beside arang or coral, we can use another media too, like gravel or zeolite or coconut husk. So there are some reasons why we use arang here. The first one, because it's cheap and easy to find, and we use coral to filter the water and horse box the water. And the third one, because the particles of the coral are big, so it won't move or carry out by the water to the pond. And if we use another media such as rice husk or cocoa pit, that we know the particle is too small, we have to add some filter. We have to add the net in the bucket, so to keep the media in the bucket and doesn't doesn't fall mengikuti. No, I mean, so if we use another media such as rice husk or cocoa pit that have small particles, we have to add net, because to keep the media in the bucket or pot, so it won't make the pond dirty. So that's why we use arang.
Okay, thank you. So,
Is there any one of you want to sharing?
what, perhaps another question. What is the first thing that we do if we find the fish died? Some of the students must panic.
What is the first thing if we find the fish died? Some of the students must panic. So I think you have already tried to cultivate the fish. For the first that we should do is just take the fish and then just take the fish first from the pond, and then no need to panic, I think, because the fish is not that scary, or the fish died is not that scary. But if you means the muscle died of the fish, yes, you must be panicked, because a lot of fish died. But if the fish died just one fish or two fish, it's not really necessary for us to panic. So you just can you just can take the fish from the pond. If the fish that died is many fish died in the pond, you have to know the problems. You have to memperhatikan apa? To pay attention to the pond. Maybe there are a disease, or the water quality is not good for the fish, so you have to take some action. For the first one, if the fish died muscle, usually we have to change the water, and you can give the salt fishery to the water pond.
Okay. Question from SMK Perikanan Kelautan Bugara is aquaponic system can be used in brackish water and seawater?
For now, we haven't tried the aquaponic in the brackish water and marine water, because there is some kind of minerals, and also the garam, kandungan garam.
Salinity.
Oh, the salinity is different, so we haven't tried it in the brackish water or marine water or seawater.
Okay, according to the picture, how to make water from the pond goes up to the plant.
Oh, according to the picture, how to make the water from the pond up to the plant. So we just use the water pump. We use the water pump for the pond for the pond that we have. We use one water pump per pond.
Okay, thank you. So, is any of you ready to share your experiences in practicing aquaculture or aquaponics? Perhaps from SMK Perikanan and Kelautan? You must have already practiced it, right?
What if the aquaponics system use water voodoo former? How is the comparison between the excuse me? What if the aquaponic is it you mean
Bekas wudhu.
yes the water after voodoo, and you use the water for cultivate the fish, and then in that pond you also set the aquaponic? Is that you mean?
So what I mean is you cannot use the water directly from voodoo, but you have to.
Yes, for the aquaponic, the principle is we use the feces from the fish to as the source of the nutrients for the plant. So if you just use water voodoo former, I think it's not called it. We can call it aquaponics. But if you mean the water voodoo former you use for cultivate the fish, and then in that pond you also set the aquaponic system, we can call it aquaponic system. And the water voodoo former can be used if first there is no waste from shop, maybe I think because we can control the student and we can control the student from just using the water for voodoo. Maybe there are some students that use water to wash their hand or wash their face too.
Okay, and how is the comparison between the plant and the fish and the number of the fish?
All the number. Okay, what is the comparison between the plant and the fish? For the fish, for example, for catfish, we use the density here 300 per meters till 500 per meters, and with the with the area of the pond, it's about 6 meter. We can use or we can build a aquaponic. The luasan apa? We can build the same aquaponic, or we can set the aquaponic with the same area of the pond. But if you mean that the comparison, it's about the harvest time. It's different. The different fish that we use will affected for the harvest time too. For example, if we use the catfish and we grow the kangkung, we can harvest it at the same time. But if we use tilapia, we maybe we can harvest it at the same time, because for tilapia the size of consumption is bigger than catfish, something like that.
Sometimes the water is very dirty and can poison the fish.
Sometimes
The water is very dirty.
and
Dirty.
can poison. This is for aquaponics, right? Or just aquaculture? Miss Indah, sorry, this is about aquaponic or aquaculture?
Indah.
Yeah, Miss Ella, please clarify your question, whether is it for the aquaculture or aquaponics. And while that, we will move to the next question from Miss Aprilia Rahayu. Can we use the flower plant?
Flower plant. I think this is for now. We just, but from my experience, we just want to begin to use the flower plant. So we haven't really know about the result yet. Where is the growth of the flower plant is good or not, or the color of the flower plant is good or not.
Aku bisa hai nggak? Nggak boleh ya? Halo. Halo. Halo juga. Ayo Rik, ikut Rik. Maka saya mau gitu loh, nggak boleh takut.
So Miss Indah.
Ayo. Oh, dia lagi di situ jadi narsis.
Okay, so no more question?
Mrs. Indah, how about Mrs. Indah?
Indah Anggraini, can you clarify that question? Mana sih Indah Anggraini? Nggak ketahuan, nggak kerja.
Okay, I think
No further question.
yes. No more question?
I think we can wrap up the session.
Hey, why the sound is too
What
low?
about Mrs. Indah?
Is the sound is too low for you guys? If the sound is too low, we will try to change the equipment for the next sessions. No, it's enough? Okay. Okay, Mbak Dewi, maybe you can wrap up your sessions.
Okay, I think that's all for today. Thank you guys for all your participation. I hope you guys can get some new information from me, and if you still want to ask about aquaculture or aquaponic, you can contact me. You can contact me directly, and I'm so sorry if there's a lot of mistake from me. Okay, thank you guys. Bye and see you next time.
Bye.
Okay, thank you very much, Mbak Dewi, and perhaps we will meet again on the next session. Hold on. Okay, so unfortunately for today, there are no team that would like to share their experience, but in the next session, we will have topics of solid organic waste management and composting, and I'm sure that a lot of you have already implemented this technology on composting, and because some of you have already asked about the composting technique that doesn't smell and etc. So we really encourage all of you to create your simple presentation or perhaps a video presentation. Also, you can also do that, and please share with us on Tuesday next week about your experiences. Okay, so once again, thank you all for your attendance today, and see you next week. Goodbye. Oh yeah, and once more, sorry. There is a question whether you should implement all of these technologies on your action plan. It is not like that, because we provided all of these technologies for you to choose. Okay, so you can choose which technologies is best for your schools based on your school conditions, school environment. Perhaps some of you can only implement the oyster mushroom and then soil-based vegetable, and the other school can implement aquaculture. That's fine. So you can choose what technologies will you implement or improve in your school. Okay, so you don't have to implement all of these technologies in your school. Okay, so once again, goodbye.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Haris.
You're welcome. Thank you, Mas Ruli.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you. Bapak Ruli. Ruli, iya yang kemarin bener. Yang saya nolak kan? Suli.
Stopnya.
Siapa tadi yang respon? Thank you.
Apa? Mau ada hostnya Bu dari Semunik.